This tutorial is going to teach you how to set up a hello world for Robotlegs. So I'm starting just with the main class, main application class, completely empty. I have my flex switch linked and the Robotlegs framework is linked. So I'm ready to go from scratch to build a working Robotlegs application. So there won't be any trickery behind this. This is all live coding. So the first thing we want to do is set up just a simple model class, simple view class. So we'll just put this in an org Robotlegs examples. We'll call this hello world view, and we'll just call this simple view. Have it extend sprite. So in our simple view, we're just going to have a text field here. We'll call it greeting display. And add the greeting display to our little view. So we have a text field set up, ready to accept any sort of text. Now we'll set up our model. We'll just call this one simple model. We'll put it in model package, and we'll have it extend actor, which is one of the special classes in Robotlegs that'll let us use the event mapping and fire events through the Robotlegs framework. So in our simple model, we're just going to set up a message here. And the message is going to be hello Robotlegs. So the test of any framework, any application framework, is getting this hello Robotlegs message over into the text field of our simple view. So how are we going to do that using Robotlegs? First, we're going to set up our method in the simple model of dispatching an event from the model to update the view. And we're going to put this in a greeting request method, which will need to be public so it can get called from our command later on. And in this greeting request, we're going to set up a greeting event. And we'll create this greeting event class in our controller. And it's just going to be a regular Flash event. Now our greeting event, we're going to give it a type of, how about greeting event greet. Sounds good to me. And we'll attach our message to our greeting event. Message. And then we'll use the dispatch method, thanks to this being extended by subclass of actor, and we will dispatch this greeting event. So using the dispatch method here, it's going to send this greeting event through Robotlegs, and you can listen to it all over in your application. So how are we going to get this event to update the view? We're going to need something called a mediator. But first, to map to that mediator, we'll have to set up something called our context. Our context is where all the mapping of events and classes to be injected and all that sort of stuff is going to happen. So in the main context we're setting up here, there's a hook we're going to use called startup. Going to override that, and in startup, that's where we're going to do things like use a mediator map. We're going to map our simple view to a simple view class, a simple view mediator. And in our simple view mediator, can get rid of the constructor. I'm not going to need that. We have to wait for it to be registered. So in onRegisterHook, we're going to use the event map the event dispatcher. Whenever you see this event dispatcher, just think of any of these, the dispatch methods, like in simple model dispatch. That's using the same event dispatcher, the same kind of global event handling system that the simple view mediator is using. So back over here, so whenever this event dispatcher dispatches the event of greeting event greet, let's handle it with an onGreet. And this is going to be a greeting event. And from here, we can update our simple view. So what we're going to do is inject our simple view into the mediator here. So inject simple view and simple view, and we'll just call a method called update greeting, and we'll pass in the message. And in update greeting, with our greeting display, we will give it the message. So we've wired up this whole thing now. I know I've flown through this, but you can rewind and kind of watch in slow motion if you want. But just want to speed through the process so you see how all these different classes link together. We've shown how you get content from the simple model, you dispatch it, and in the main context, we'll go over to the main context. You'll see the mediator is mapping the simple view to a simple view mediator. In our simple view mediator, we're mapping that event that's getting dispatched by the simple model. And when we handle that event, we're going to have the simple view update using the payload, the message of the event, and pass that into our greeting display. Now that's great and everything. We've got our data from our model into our view. Now let's set up how we're going to request that data. Here I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Usually you would just set up a button, and on click or whatever, you would have it fire off this event and request the data. I'm just going to set up a method here within a new greeting event. I'm going to call this one request greeting and create that constant. Now, so whenever that event is fired from, in this case in our simple view mediator, we're going to set up a way for request greeting to be mapped to a command in the main context. So let's open up our command map and map an event. So we have our greeting event, request greeting, and we're going to create a request greeting command. Whoops. We'll throw this guy in our controller package, have an extend command, and then as in every command pattern you've ever seen, you just override execute. And in execute, we're going to call that request greeting method in our simple model. So we'll inject our model, a simple model, and have the simple model request. What did I name that again? Oh, greeting request. That should be called request greeting. It's a terrible name. So simple model request greeting. So now whenever this event is fired off, so simple view mediator is going to fire off the request greeting event, and that's going to get mapped through the main context to a command, and in our request greeting command, it's going to request the greeting from the model. The one part we're missing here from our main context is this command has no way to know about this injection yet. So we have to go back into our main context and set up the injector so that whenever anyone asks for the simple model, it'll get an instance of the simple model. And using the map singleton, it'll get that same instance throughout the application. So the last couple steps we have to do here is actually add our simple view to our stage. The context view is actually the main application class. And then the final step in this nice little process, we'll save this, go into our main, and we'll just create a new instance of main context. Now, all we have to do, come up here, click run, and you have your hello world for Robotlegs. Hope that's helpful.